degrees. It just like that. Just unreal. Well, we've had, I have had like 4 inches of rain in the last week, and the yard is already coming back. So I think we're gonna make it through it okay. I remember, Mike, back in the winter, remember whenever we had the freeze, everybody was draining their pipes. A lot of people didn't. And whenever they thawed out, everybody was having the leaks in the ceiling, you know, because of the water pipes and all that, those who weren't thinking ahead. Anyway, I blew mine out with air hose, which is in without water until it started warming up in the afternoon. But I remember last winter thinking, I'll sure be glad when this winter's over. What in the world was I thinking then? Wow, can't have your cake and eat it too, right? WZ5Q Mike.
Yeah, from one extreme to the other, I'll tell you. N5K and D, WZ5Q. Let's see here. Let me check this scopage out. 4, 5, yeah. Where's Chad when you need him? Hey, got some positive peaks there, Chado. Oh man, well, yeah, it's from one extreme to the other. You know, hopefully this will be an easy winter, man. I tell you what, my fruit trees are just tired of these wacky winters that freeze up, and then here comes this warm weather in December and January, and then they all bloom out, and then here comes the freezes again and kills everything. And man, it really just decimated my nectarines, and not so much the apples this year, but man, it decimated my nectarines. I was a little upset about that. But then, oh yeah, my apples, you know, I don't know if you knew this, so I told Chad about it, but I got an Anna apple tree out there, and delicious sweet apples, and he makes every year, and it's a fairly big tree, you know. I mean, you can reach up and get the bottom apples, but you need a ladder to get the mids and the top ones. Well, I had a bunch of them on there, and it did like a double thing. It had a bunch of ripe ones in May, and I was sitting there waiting for the other ones to get ripe, you know, because I'd drive by on the lawnmower and grab me one, and I'll chew on it there, core and all, you know, while I'm mowing, and that's just my thing, you know. That's how I eat my apples, and doggone it, man, I got all the, and then what they do is they're green, and then they'll turn a red blush on the top of them when they're ripe. Well, they were all green, you know. I was waiting for them to get ripe, and you know, to get that red blush on them, and so I was sitting there waiting, and man, I went out there and mowed, and I drove by there, by that apple tree to see, you know, how good they was doing, and there wasn't one apple on there except for one. There was one apple on the bottom. Every last other apple was missing. It was gone. Somebody drove up there, and they had to pull the ladder out of their truck. It was premeditated. It had to be, because they had to have a ladder to get up there and get them all. But they left me one apple. One, Greg, and it was rotten. That's the reason they left it. One rotten apple they left me. Them assholes, man. I'll tell you, I was so upset about that. And there was probably about 20 apples left on that tree. But they weren't ripe. So what they got a whole bunch of unripe apples is what they did. So they wasted them all. You know, idiots. Man, I'll tell you. That's my apple tree story for the year. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad that it got a little cooler. You know, I'm getting a lot more stuff done around the house now, because I wasn't going to do it when it was all that heat out there. You know, hell, and you had to get up before sunrise just to do anything. And that, I got where my service comes in for the house. It's going through a big oak tree, and I had cut a bunch of those limbs down last year. you know, they were weighted down with ice and pulling on that, you know, sitting on top of that deal. So I got out there with the ice and all of that, and cut all them down, so they wouldn't, you know, rip that thing out of the pole, off the pole. Well, I started looking at it. I was mowing, and I kind of looked up, and I saw that that tree had done growed pretty close to that thing back over again. So I need to cut another limb down. So because that's exactly what's going to happen if we get some more ice accumulated on the trees. It's going to lay over on top of that thing again. So it's a different spot. It's on the other side of the tree. I don't know why these guys did that, but. So I need to cut that down, and I've been waiting for it to get cool, man, because I ain't going to do it in 102 degrees, you know. I like to pass out on that damn lawnmower just mowing, and I was sitting down, man. I started getting heat exhaustion and dizzy, and I was all over the damn place on that lawnmower. I had to go find a shady spot and sit down there for a while. It took about 15 minutes for that to pass, but I was feeling sick all the rest of the day, and I know that's what it was. You know, and I wasn't doing anything, you know, just sitting on the damn lawnmower, but man, that'll get you, it'll sneak up on you. So, man, you just won't feel good after that, you know. So I was waiting on it, and so that's something I gotta do now. Get the big ladder out there and the pole saw and cut all that away from there. So that's gonna happen in the next week or so, once it gets a little cooler. No chance on anything freezing in the meantime, so yeah, I got time on that. And yeah, the same thing here. We had all the rain before. Y'all did. So we had all the 4 inches of rain a couple weeks ago. So my grass is already green and growing. I've already had to mow it twice in the last 2 weeks. So you know, once a week, I'm back to the once a week mow thing. I mowed. And hell, it's already growing, so it don't mess around. It gets some water, man. It knows what to do. That's for sure. Oh man. Well, as far as those hinges on your door, you know what? They probably just had them in the truck or something from another job or whatever, and they didn't have the right ones, so they just slapped them dudes in there. So he'll never know. And well, you didn't until you did. It's kind of funny though. Hey, you trapped yourself in your shop. Hopefully you had a little Fridgerino in there with some goodies, you know, to kind of help you, survive. You know, I've got a little beer cooler here, and it's got some little goodies in there, and a microwave and a coffee pot, so I could survive for a little while. I was captivated in my shop. N5K and D. WZ5Q.